please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi, welcome back. So the market continuing to do well, almost a 200-point rally on the Sensex. So let's get started with movers and shakers and tell you about all the stocks which are actually boosting the market currently. And top of mind, of course, is the Pharma pack, Sun Pharma and SPARC. Ekta.
Well, yes, absolutely. Both the stocks are in news on account of the fact that the USFDA has given its approval for ophthalmology drug Xelpros. It is basically an eye drop which is used to treat glaucoma and other such eye conditions. Now, why is this important for Sun Pharma and SPARC is because it will add to their specialty pipeline. So, for example, SPARC will benefit because they will receive royalty and milestone payments from Sun Pharma with regards to this particular drug. Remember, this drug is manufactured by, is basically produced by SPARC in license to Sun Pharma, and Sun Pharma will be manufacturing it at its Halol facility. Now, estimates are that the company could make total sales or peak sales of around $50 to $70 million in terms of this particular drug. Plus, it will add to its specialty pipeline, which is a key differentiator these days for Sun Pharma. And remember that eventually the specialty pipeline itself can contribute to around $300 to $500 million in terms of peak sales for Sun Pharmaceuticals. Separately, it also negates concerns for the Halol facility because it had received 6 observations just a few weeks ago. And now with this approval, those observations and the worry from those observations stand negated.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Ekta. Well, Shriram Transport, that's off the morning lows after the management clarifies that the amount involved in SVL is unlikely to have a meaningful impact on its profit and loss account. That's of Shriram Transport. Let's hear out what the management had to tell us here on CNBC-TV18.
This is between one of the subsidiary of SVL and the customer of that company. There's some business dispute and the amount should be very small. I think the original amount is around 6 crores advance given. The SVL will be able to handle the dispute. Right now, this particular dispute that would be addressed by SVL. I don't think it will really need to monetize from the promoter group or capital is what I feel. But going forward, we need to really see how to address that. And last time, if I remember, our founder has already given a clarification that if HDFC investors will not have any impact on this. So it will be taken care by the promoter if there is any such situation.
All right, and UPL is another stock that's doing well in trade today. Nigel, what's going on?
Well, UPL's up close to around 4% approximately. Remember, earlier the street was quite concerned whether or not it's being a little too aggressive in terms of the full $4 billion Aresta Life Science, that acquisition. Now, that was digested and that was taken positively actually because from there, the stock has seen a good recovery. Not just that, I'm just looking at the BSE, and in the last few days, in the last couple of weeks or 12 days odd, they've got a lot of releases that have come out there, and the promoter appears that they're creeping into the share in the last 12 days or so. They bought nearly around 4-5 lakh shares or thereabouts, and clearly the street has taken that positively. And that explains, that could be one of the reasons why, in fact, the stock is moving higher. It's up close to around 4% as we speak. Not just UPL, also keep an eye out on a smaller stock, Unifos. It's a very, very small stock. Volumes are not very, very high, but it normally moves in tandem with UPL. And remember, why is that? Because its market cap is around 590 crores. It holds 5% in UPL. Need to keep in mind that it's a promoter entity. So unlikely there will be any kind of value unlocking in future. But that's UPL and Unifos. I think we should get that stock as well up for you. It's a stock that has very, very low volumes. Yes, exactly. It's up 4%. Keep in mind, it's the promoter entity of the company.
All right, and a whole host of other stocks also making news. Anisha is here with a rundown. Anisha.
Thank
Thank you so much for that. I'll start with KNR Construction. That one is moving higher because the company has basically received a financial closure for one of its HAM projects, and its hybrid annuity model project worth around 1,300 crore rupees. That had been an overhang on the stock, so today it's seeing a bit of positive reaction on that. Moving on to NBCC, wherein the company has been selected to acquire 100% stake in HSCC for around 300 crore rupees. Now, this has been in the making for a while, but given the fact that the company's order book is large and they're acquiring it for just 300 crores, has been taken positively by the street. Voltas, they have finally launched their home appliances with Beko. Remember, this was expected to happen last year. It has been much delayed, but the positive is that they will be able to ride this festive season demand. So that is a positive for the stock. RCF is in focus because the cabinet had approved transfer of RCF land to MMRDA. So they're basically transferring the development rights, and that is being seen positively by the street. Federal Bank is in focus because the MD and CEO's ESOP shares had to be sold in the market given they could not meet the margin call money requirement. So that was one thing that the stock and the investors are watching out for. And lastly, one space that is buzzing in trade is sugar space. So all these names like Awadh Sugar, Simbauli Sugar, Dalmia Bharat, Sakti Sugar, Sri Renuka are all trading higher. We had heard from the management of Balrampur Chini as well, suggesting that they do not expect the price of sugar to reduce going forward. In fact, hear out what the management had to tell us.
I especially like this announcement of the realistic pricing of B heavy from 47.5 to 52.5 and the juice to 59. See, this is the first time I think this price is absolutely realistic. There will be, to begin with, some diversion from sugar into ethanol via the B heavy route. You'll see a lot of bidding happening this time in both C heavy and B heavy made ethanol, and we're hoping a lot of supplies. 10% blending would be a reality very soon, if not this year, next year. I'm looking positively at ethanol, positively at power, and with an export program, I'm not seeing sugar prices go down. If they don't move up substantially, which I don't think they will, they would play in this 31-32 range. So with good capacity, good recovery, extreme integration, and just hoping for some more realism from the state government.
All right, let's quickly recap the top stocks which are buzzing at this hour. Sun Pharma, SPARC, Shriram Transport, UPL, Uniforce, KNR Constructions, NBCC, Voltas, RCF, Federal Bank, and also the whole host of sugar stocks. So there's Balrampur Chini, Awadh Sugar, Shimbauli, Dalmia Bharat, Shakti Sugars, and Sri Renuka. That's a long list.
All right, let's move on then. The NCLT has allowed Shivinder Singh to withdraw a case against Malvinder Singh, as well as Relicare has moved the NCLT court against the Singh brothers. Ashmit Kumar joins us to fill us in with all those details. Ashmit, over to you.
Right, so what we understand is that Shivinder Singh, as we had reported yesterday, has withdrawn his application against Malvinder Singh. Just to remind our viewers, Shivinder Singh had moved the NCLT, whereby he had raised questions of corporate mismanagement, of diversion of funds, some serious allegations being raised of corporate governance issues being raised. But importantly, what Shivinder Singh stated before the court was that there has been some degree of mediation by the family elders, and on account of that, they will be withdrawing their application. But what's equally important here is that Delegate Enterprises, which was one of the respondents in this case, today moved the NCLT, whereby they clearly stated that serious allegations have been made against this company, that the company is a publicly listed company, that there were allegations made that Malvinder Singh has diverted funds, has siphoned off funds off the books of Delegate Enterprises, and that they sought liberty before the NCLT to launch proceedings against the brothers to recover the money. So that serious issue was raised today. Now, what the NCLT has done is that while it has not passed any orders about recovery of funds, what it has done is that it has allowed full liberty to Delegate Enterprises to use the claims, the arguments, and the allegations that have been made by Shivinder Singh against his brother Malvinder Singh, and to use that in any recovery proceedings that they deem fit going forward. So clearly that window is still open. We'll see that unfolding perhaps in the days to come. But for now, Shivinder Singh being allowed to withdraw the application. Delegate Enterprises will be at complete liberty to use these claims and arguments in any potential recovery proceedings that they might launch against the brothers for recovery of funds. Back to you.
Check on the option space. Quite interesting, actually. You know, some of those call writers, they're running for cover. So you pull up the 11,400 call, and the markets have got up and going. Some of these call writers, they were sitting pretty. They were enjoying themselves. Suddenly, in fact, the market, has recovered close to around 200 points from the recent lows. So on the back of that, we're seeing some kind of unwinding on the weaker bears, so to call it. So 3 lakh shares being shed out there. But the more important levels will be at around the 11,500, because both the 11,500 call and the 11,500 put, both of them are seeing a fair bit of, built up out there. So smarter traders, what they would be doing is they'll be selling the 11,500 call, selling the 11,500 put. You get around 200, 210 rupees odd, and you're protected. You're bracing yourself for a 200-point move on either side. So 11,350 to around 11,600, 11,650. That's the range really some of those traders are working with, and that's why you're seeing that both these two strikes are the most active in today's trading session. But let's get in some market opinion. Then earlier today, we spoke with Ratnesh Kumar, MD and CEO of Bob Caps, to get a sense of what he expects from the earnings going ahead and what he makes of the earnings season that just went by. Let's hear him out.
Earnings recovery is here. It is very much set and embedded, and this will be the first year in which you will see that earnings recovery, for sure. And subsequently, 2019-20, you could again have 15-18% type of earnings growth. So yes, earnings recovery is here. The thing is that the valuations of the markets are such that the re-rating is less of a possibility. And from the market target point of view, if I was to look at 12-15 months out, I would say similar in line with the earnings growth of about 16-17% higher market is very much possible. From the market's point of view, I think what we are looking at is especially on the currency, if there is any sort of activity which comes out as a result of that. But I think beyond the intervention side of things, the bigger, more important thing for the currency will be actually things like oil and current account deficit. So yes, I think market would look for confirmation, further confirmation on things, on the fact that the economic recovery is here. The growth numbers were pretty good last quarter, and how sustainable they could be for the remaining 2-3 quarters of the year.
Well, earlier in the show, we were just telling you about the move that we're seeing in UPL, and it could be, some kind of buying that we've been seeing from the promoter in the last 10-12 days or so. So that stock is holding with a gain of around 4.5%. But we also highlighted to you that Uniphos, that holds close to around 5% stake in UPL, but it's holding as a promoter. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, volumes picking up on that one as well. It's currently holding with a gain of around 7.5%. Not very, very large volumes. Keep in mind, it's holding it as a promoter entity. And that's what really makes the difference. So in all probability, it'll keep holding the shares and only keep receiving the dividend. Their market cap is around 500 crores. The whole share is worth around 1,900 crores. So it appears the street is getting a little excited on the back of that. But how do you trade the Nifty from here? 11,460 is the level we're holding out on. Prakash Gaba as well as Rahul Mohinder, both of them are with us. Good day, gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining in. Prakash, coming across to you. Earlier today, you told us if you get the Nifty at around 11,420, 11,400, that's the level you would look to buy the Nifty. We are virtually unmoved actually in the last couple of hours. What's the trade now?
No, looks like again 11,440 could be a buying opportunity, but after an hour or so, not now.
Okay.
Because I want something to happen after an hour or so. If it comes closer to where I am, then perhaps I could buy. But yes, so far it goes, or it takes out the high and bang Nifty I buy. Nifty I don't buy until I get a dip.
Okay.
Okay. Rahul Mohinder is also with us. Rahul, hi, good afternoon to you. What's your trading strategy now on the index?
On the index, like I mentioned in the morning as well, 11,480, a very key level. We kind of knocked that level as a high today as of now. I think once we get past 11,480 on the Nifty spot convincingly, then we will see that run up to about the 11,600 marker. But unless that happens, I am not concluding into a bullish circumstance. Of course, it's got to be stock specific from here on.
All right, so on a closing basis, the level we'll be looking at is around 11,480 odd, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Let's get some picks going then. Prakash, coming across to you first. you have a couple of picks for us,
Yes.
Biocon and Indocin, I believe.
Yes, Nigel. I like Biocon. Looks good. Seen a good. Basically, the structure is positive and up. Could continue to targets around 675 zones. Stop below 650 on Biocon should be fine. And I also happen to like IndusInd Bank from the banking pack. Seen some good momentum pull. This momentum pull could propel it to targets closer to 1885 zones or 1900 zones as well. Stop below 1870, I would say that 1850.
Okay, Rahul, what are the stocks you're looking at?
Yeah, I've got one buy opportunity and one sell. I'll be buying Divi's Lab. I continue to be bullish on that pharma space. I think this is one which can move towards its previous highs. I reckon 1375 to 1380, which is around the 2016 high as well. We should move up to those levels. So keeping a stop loss of 1285, I'd buy into Divi's Labs. I'd also like to mention that if we get past that 1382 level, the previous high that is, we could well roll into levels of 1520 as well. So one should keep one's eyes on the stock. The second one would be ICICI Bank. This one for a sell side call, I'd be looking at selling it expecting 310 as a target. And again, this is not intraday, but given a week, I think we would be there. 333 would be my stop loss on ICICI Bank.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Prakash, as well as Rahul for joining in. Well, we're getting some news coming on HCC. They filed the draft letter of offer with SEBI and exchanges for a rights issue. Everyone's waiting by how do they deleverage that balance sheet, and that's what's given the stock some legs. It's moved mildly higher, but the biggest story really is the rupee. Remember, just a couple of trading sessions ago, it was moving towards its 73 odd mark, 72.90 odd. So from there, we've seen quite a sharp pullback. But keep in mind, the dollar index as well should come up for you. Just a few sessions ago, that was holding at around 95.5 odd. Now that's holding at around 94.5 odd. So there is weakness that we're seeing on the dollar index as well. So it's not just an India-specific pullback that we're seeing in terms of currency. Overnight, we did see that the Turkish Central Bank, they had increased their rates as well. And in fact, from around 17% to around 24%. And the Turkish lira as well, that's been battered and bruised out of shape. That bounced back. So a lot of these emerging market currencies, they are pulling back, and India is participating as well after moving towards 73 odd mark. But let's slip into a short break. Up next, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to hold a crucial meeting this weekend to take stock of the economy.